Hey folks, Cornell here with Midlife Crits. How you doing today? I am here with our next set of talent previews, starting off with the Warrior and the Arms spec. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. At level 15 you have War Machine, Sudden Death, and Skull Splitter. War Machine is a passive. Your auto attacks generate 10% more rage. Killing an enemy instantly generates 10 rage and increases your movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. Sudden Death, passive. Your damaging melee abilities have a chance to make your next execute cost no rage, be usable on any target regardless of their health, and deal damage if you spent 40 rage. Skull Splitter, melee range, instant cast with a 19-second cooldown. Bashes an enemy's skull, dealing 1,562 physical damage. At level 30 you have Double Time, Impending Victory, and Stormbolt. Double Time is a passive, increases the maximum number of charges on charge by 1, and reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. Impending Victory replaces Victory Rush, 10 rage, melee range, instant 30-second cooldown. Instantly attack the target, causing 907 damage and healing you for 15% of your maximum health. Killing an enemy that yields experience or honor resets the cooldown of Impending Victory. And lastly, Stormbolt. 20-yard range, instant cast, 30-second cooldown. Hurls your weapon at an enemy, causing 378 physical damage and stunning for 4 seconds. Level 45, you have Trauma, Rend, and Avatar. Trauma is a passive. Slam, Whirlwind, and Execute now cause the target to bleed for 20% and additional damage over 6 seconds. Multiple uses accumulate increased damage. Rend, 30-yard range or 30 rage, melee range, instant cast, wounds the target, causing 536 physical damage instantly and an additional 2,034 bleed damage over 12 seconds. Avatar, instant cast, 90-second cooldown. Transform into a Colossus for 20 seconds, causing you to deal 20% increased damage and removing all roots and snares. At level 60, we have Second Wind, Bounding Stride, and Defensive Stance. Second Wind is a passive. Restores 6% health every 1 second when you have not taken damage for 5 seconds. Bounding Stride is a passive. Reduces the cooldown on Heroic Leap by 15 seconds, and Heroic Leap now also increases your run speed by 70% for 3 seconds. And lastly, Defensive Stance. Instant cast, 6-second cooldown. Defensive combat state that reduces all damage you take by 20% and all damage you deal by 10%. Lasts until cancelled. So, in this instance, I will take Bounding Stride. At level 75, you have Collateral Damage, Warbreaker, and Cleve. Collateral Damage is a passive. When your abilities damage a second target due to sweeping strikes, they refund 20% of their rage cost. Warbreaker replaces Colossus Smash. It's an instant cast with a 45-second cooldown. Smash the ground and shatter the armor of all enemies within 8 yards, dealing 4,616 physical damage and increasing damage you deal to them by 30% for 10 seconds. Okay. Oh no. Why did he not attack me? Cleve, 20 rage, melee range, instant cast, 5.5-second cooldown. Strikes all enemies in front of you with a sweeping attack for 1,116 physical damage, hitting 3 or more targets. Inflicts deep wounds. So in this case, I will probably take Cleve, because it's classic. Level 90, In for the Kill, Fervor of Battle, Deadly Calm. Wait a minute, I'm not on, he didn't attack me because I'm not on my Horde tune. I'm so used to playing Horde. Forgive me for, I digress. In for the Kill, Fervor of Battle, Deadly Calm. In for the Kill, passive. Colossus Smash increases your haste by 10% or by 20% if the target is below 20% health. Lasts 10 seconds. Fervor of Battle. It's passive. Whirlwind deals 10% increased damage and slams your primary target. And lastly, Deadly Calm. Reduces the rage cost of your abilities by 100% for 6 seconds. I will probably take Fervor of Battle. And at level 100 you have Anger Management, Dreadnought, and Ravager. Anger Management, passive. Every 20 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown on Colossus Smash, Blade Storm, and deadly calm by 1 second. Dreadnought is a passive. Overpower has 2 charges, and it increases the damage of your next mortal strike by 10%. And lastly, Ravager replaces Blade Storm. Throws a whirling weapon at the target location and inflicts 7,147 damage to all enemies within 8 yards over 6.4 seconds. Generates 7 rage each time it deals damage. While that does sound interesting, I'm going to take Dreadnought. I do play for ease, and right now I'm choosing things that I think would help with my leveling experience. And PvP, Adaptation, Relentless, and Gladiator's Metal. First, I like Adaptation. And here we go. There's quite a lot of these. Death Row, passive. You can now execute targets at or below 25% health. Personally, I really do like that one. I've gone over these talents before on my stream, so I'm a little familiar with them, but I'm going to go ahead and go down the list. Master and Commander, passive. Cooldown of commanding shout reduces by 2 minutes. Shadow of the Colossus, passive. Charge resets the cooldown of your overpower and rage gained from charge increased by 5. Storm of Destruction, passive. Reduces the cooldown of Blade Storm by 33%, and Blade Storm now also applies mortal wound to all targets you hit. War Banner, instant, 1.5 minute cooldown. You throw down a war banner at your feet. Rallying your allies increases movement speed by 30% and reduces the duration of all incoming crowd control effects by 50%. All allies within 30 yards of the war banner. Last 15 seconds. Sharpened Blade, instant cast, 25-second cooldown. When activated, your next mortal strike will deal 30% increased damage and reduce healing taken by 50% for 4 seconds. Duel, 20-yard range, instant cast, 1 minute cooldown. You challenge the target to a duel. While challenged, all damage you and the target deal are to all targets other than each other is reduced by 50% and lasts 6 seconds. Spell Reflection. Raise your shield, reflecting all spells cast on you, lasts 3 seconds. Death Sentence, passive. Execute now has a 15-yard range, causing you to charge to targets when used. And lastly, Disarm. Instant 45-second cooldown. Disarm the enemy's weapons and shield for 4 seconds. Disarmed creatures deal significantly reduced damage. I'm going to take Death Sentence. And the last one I will take is probably going to be Disarm. Alright, so that is the Arms Warrior talents and the Warmode PvP talents. So, if you like what I've done here, let me know down in those comments. Let me know your thoughts on these, on the talent tree for Battle for Azeroth for the Arms Warrior. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I want to give a shout out and thanks to our patrons over on Patreon. If I'm going to start doing, once the community tab is activated, I'm going to create a community just for my patrons, and that'll allow us to play together. So if you're interested in that, head on over to Patreon. Every bit helps out the channel in these tough times here on YouTube. For Midlife Crits, this is Cornell. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the couch.